Manipulators don't just pick targets at random. They run a dark, highly calculated test. And if you genuinely enjoy being alone, well, you probably just passed it. Welcome to The Explainer.
Wait, that's actually crazy. You're telling me that just enjoying your own company makes you a literal magnet for toxic people?
Exactly. That is the core question we're diving into today. Why is it that unbothered, independent loners seem to attract the absolute worst narcissists and manipulators?
Right, because I know people listening right now who literally just want a quiet Friday night. You've got your phone on Do Not Disturb, you're curled up watching a movie, totally minding your own business, and boom, you are constantly targeted by these emotional energy vampires. It just feels so backward.
It totally feels backward, at least until you crack open the psychology behind it. We're looking at this whole paradox of the unbothered loner.
Oh, for sure. Because to a toxic person, being self-contained, they secretly view that as having quote-unquote low resistance. When they see a single bright dot separated from the rest of the cluster, they don't see fierce independence, they just see an easy mark.
Okay, but here's the thing. If you're tuning into this explainer, you are probably not antisocial. You're just selective. You know exactly what I mean. It's that super relatable habit of just dodging forced conversations. Like, you skip the awkward office happy hour because making small talk about the weather for 2 hours literally drains your soul. You're just trying to protect your peace.
Precisely. But here's the kicker. That exact habit, protecting your peace, is the very thing that kicks off a highly specific, honestly dangerous process in a toxic person's mind.
So, let's break down the exact psychological heist a toxic person is running when they meet you. They are essentially checking boxes on this dark, twisted rubric. Here is how that calculation actually works. Step 1, they look for a lack of social witnesses to call them out. Step 2, a perceived low threat level, meaning they figure you won't fight back right away. And step 3, monopolizing your attention so they slowly become your entire world. Hold up, step 2 is wild because we see this happen all the time. It is that one coworker who makes a little passive-aggressive joke about your outfit in front of the whole team, just to see if you defend yourself. They are literally testing your perceived threat level in real time, just pushing the boundary to see exactly what they can get away with. Hit the nail on the head. And that brilliant point leads us right to this undeniable fact. Manipulation grows best in absolute silence. These manipulators rely entirely on you not having a strong social circle around you. Think about it like a relentlessly buzzing phone sitting on a nightstand in a pitch-black room. If you don't have a massive group of friends ready to step in and say, hey, that behavior is toxic, the manipulator can just slowly isolate you.
Until their voice is literally the only one you hear. They isolate you by design. It's not an accident.
Which brings us to arguably the most insidious part of this whole dynamic. This is where they take your absolute best traits and actively weaponize them against you. Just look at this dangerous disconnect. As a highly empathetic person, you naturally give people the benefit of the doubt. But the toxic person, they see your patience as a green light. Listen, you know you've done this, I've done this. You sit there totally excusing their terrible behavior, thinking to yourself, oh, they just have unresolved childhood trauma, or they're just super stressed at work right now. Meanwhile, they are literally just calculating what they can get away with next. You are giving grace, and they are aggressively taking ground. And when you give up that ground, you eventually become exactly this, the unpaid therapist. You absorb all of their chaos, their drama, and you get absolutely nothing in return. Oh man, this hits so close to home. It is exactly like sitting in a coffee shop for 2 solid hours, carrying a friend's incredibly heavy emotional baggage. You just sit there letting them vent and complain and dump all their issues on you. And then at the end of it all, they never once ask how your day was. They just take and take and take. It's completely exhausting. But right here is where the whole narrative tone shifts. Because that dark, calculated test the manipulator ran, it has a massive, fatal flaw. The dynamic silently flips. Just look at the data on how this power flip actually plays out. The manipulator thought your comfort in solitude made you an easy target to isolate. But in reality, it makes you basically immune to the threat of abandonment. They thought your quietness meant you wouldn't speak up, but it actually means you notice their lies way before anyone else. Yes, because quiet people observe literally everything. You're just sitting back, sipping your drink, letting them talk, and you see the mask slip way before anyone else in the room does. They honestly think they were playing you, but you've already caught them in like 3 different lies by Tuesday. Exactly. So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is that a manipulator's biggest weapon, threatening to leave you or giving you the silent treatment, it completely and utterly backfires.
Right. They're storming off like, I am going to ignore you now. And you're just sitting there like, please do not threaten me with a good time. You genuinely love your solitude. Their ultimate quote-unquote punishment is literally your ideal Friday night.
It's so true. Which brings us to the final, most devastating move the unbothered loner takes once they finally realize they're being used. Game over. It is called the silent exit. No drawn-out arguments, no tearful explanations, zero closure. Just permanent, absolute disconnection. You literally just ghost them because you are exhausted. There's no dramatic screaming match out in the street. You don't write some long emotional paragraph in their DMs. You just cut access. Blocked. Deleted. Done. And it drives them absolutely insane because they suddenly have zero control over you anymore. It strips them of all their power in an instant. Because at the end of the day, your peace matters infinitely more than their presence. I need everyone tuning in right now. Literally take your phone out, screenshot this exact quote, and drop it in your group chat. Send it to that one friend who is currently dealing with an energy vampire. They need to see this. You are not a victim. You're just someone who hasn't reached your limit quite yet. But when you do, your exit is going to be untouchable. Thanks for joining us on this explainer. So ask yourself, who in your life is quietly running this dark calculation on you right now? Protect your peace, and we'll